Last week, Kelly showed you a sample Google Classroom for elementary ELA. We wanted to continue that to show you another example of how you can easily use Google Classroom for task management. So today, I'm going to focus on a math example. If you don't teach math or ELA from Kelly's example last week, not to worry. Focus more on the tools being used versus the content. And remember that we're here to help you with ideas for your particular content if you need. Just give us a shout by using one of our emails that we'll share at the end of this video for you. So let's jump in, and I'm going to take you from square one with creating a class and then creating the actual activity for your students. So if you've never made a classroom before, you're going to need to know how to get to Google Classroom. So you can either access your Waffle in your Google Apps and find that icon, or you can come up to the Omnibox and search classroom.google.com. Once that page loads, you'll get to your dashboard. You'll notice that I have some classes here because I've made classes before, but if you haven't, yours will be blank. So don't worry if you don't see anything there yet. To create a class, you're going to locate the plus icon, and then you're going to choose Create Class. Type in your class name, and then if you want, you can choose to type in a section, subject, and a room number. Only thing that's required is the class name. Okay, I've already made ours just for the purposes of not having to wait for it to load, because what happens is Google will actually take the class name and try to match this header to what you've called it. So if you notice, mine's called Miss M's Math Class. Well, it actually recognized the math and tried to pull a theme that matched math. So you can see the calculator, the graph, and the graph and paper. If you want to change that, you can choose select theme or upload your own, but we won't dive too deep into that today. The next thing you'll need to know how to do is to get your students in. So if you choose the People tab, you have two options. You can hit the Invite Students icon and type in their emails, or copy and paste if you have a list of them. This would be the emails they use within your school domain. Or you can share with them the class code. If you choose to go that route and share the class code, the students will go to classroom.google.com, and at their dashboard, when they choose the plus sign, they will only see Join a Class, and this is where they would enter that code. If you chose to do the Invite Students route, where you entered their email addresses, they would see a class with your name and title like this, but there will be an option for them to accept or decline the invitation. So it would already be on their dashboard for them. They just have to accept the invitation to get in. Okay, so we've got our class, we've got our students. Now let's talk about creating assignments or activities for them to do. You're going to want to do this under the Classwork tab, because it's going to build that assignment for you and allow you to add the different materials you need. For today's example, I am using a Eureka math lesson for 3rd grade, and I'm just going to show you an easy way to kind of compile a few resources to set up some instruction for them, as well as some time and a place for them to practice. So I've gone ahead and gathered my materials that I needed before doing this. So I have my lessons that I want them to watch. These just came from the Great Minds Eureka website. You could also use YouTube ones. You could record your own small little clips, and we'll be giving you some lessons on that later with our Tech in 10. But I wanted to keep it simple, not reinvent the wheel. I found some that teachers already recorded that had the practice built into them. So I really, really liked these. So I'm going to go ahead and utilize those. I also have my problem set for the students. I'm going to upload that as well in case any of them do want to print it out or screenshot it and use some type of app to write on it. I'm going to kind of talk a little bit more about that in a second too. And then I have my exit ticket. So I've got the materials that I would use in class with them, whether I printed them out or they had a handbook, but I'm just going to use them in a digital form. I've also created a Google Slides, and I'll chat with you about that in just a second as well. So I've got my resources preset. Now it's time to build the activity. So I'm going to hit Create. I'm going to choose Assignment, and I'm going to give it a title. I'm going to call this one, and I'm going to keep my naming convention the same throughout. That's a good idea for you to use as well. And I'm just going to go with what Eureka labels it, just for ease of having a system here. So I'm going to call it Module 5, Topic B, Lesson 9. And I'm just going to list out my instructions. Short and sweet is best right now, especially because a lot of our students are probably working without the help of parents, unless their parents are able to sit down and work with them. So I don't want it to be something big paragraphs that I know after 3 sentences they're going to check out. So I'm just going to number them. So first thing I want them to do is watch the videos, all 3. Second thing I want them to do is to complete the problem set with the videos. And the third thing I'm going to have them do is to complete and turn in the exit ticket. Okay, so now I need to add my resources. So I'm going to choose the file button, and the first one I want to do is the link to the videos. So I'm going to go and I'm going to copy and paste the website, paste that link in, add link. Okay, so now you can see that they'll just click there and it will bring them straight to those videos that I want them to watch. Also like that they're through Eureka and Great Minds because there's no ads and things like some of the YouTube videos may have. The second thing I want them to do is to complete the problem set with the videos. I'm going to go ahead and add that in. It's from my computer, but if it was in your drive, you could select your drive. There's the problem set. Open, upload. All right, so I've got my videos for them to watch. I've got the problem set for them. I'm gonna leave it on Students Can View file. If you wanted them to actually manipulate that using Kami or something like that, you could, but we're not gonna go in depth there. We're trying to keep it as simple as possible today. So got that added, and the last thing I want to do is to add my Google Slides exit ticket that I want them to complete. So I'm gonna choose from my drive. I'm gonna click that file, click add, and then I do need to come and change this to make a copy for each student. I want them to each individually have their own exit ticket to complete and turn into me. So I want to take a look at that with you so you can see kind of how I set that up. I kept that same naming convention so that it matches the assignment topic with Module 5, Topic B, Lesson 9. I've inserted a direction slide so that they know what the expectation is on the following slides that they're going to complete. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, instead of just uploading a PDF of the exit ticket for them, I'm actually going to use my snipping tool on my computer to snip the different problems and put them one per slide. I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to paste it in here. Now this particular one, they don't necessarily need to take a picture of their work because it's just asking them to fill in the chart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the text box for them and kind of help them with knowing where they should be putting that response in there. And then I'm just going to copy and paste that over into each one. This is a really great practice too for students to begin typing in those fractions and things like they might have to when they take the standardized test digitally. I know right now that's kind of something that we're not so worried about this year, but in the future, you know, they will have to work with typing in their answers. So not always a bad idea to have them practice that through Google Slides. So they'll enter their answers in that one. And then the second question, I have already pasted in just for time's sake here. I did the same thing, snipped it, copied, pasted, and I'm gonna have them actually work that on loose leaf and then take a picture and insert it in on the next slide. So all they have to do when they open this is they'll go to Insert, Image, and then they can either have already taken the pictures and take them from their drive, or they can go and choose the camera tool and it will pull up the camera on their Chromebook, or if they're using a phone or an iPad, right there for them to take the picture and they can insert it in. I really love using that for many things, not just the exit tickets. Even when we were face-to-face in the classroom, just because I didn't have to collect all their papers, they could take a picture of it and upload it for me, turn it in, and I had everything digitally. They got to keep their copy of the paper, and then I had the digital copy of it. So it made making math digital a little easier for us. So once I have all that uploaded in there, you're going to want to come over to the side and make sure that you go and change any of the settings over here as far as points, the due date. So if this is going to be due in 2 days, I'm going to let them have 2 days to work on it. Then I'm going to choose the due date there. And then if you've chosen a topic, I know Kelly talked about that in hers, this is just a great way to keep things organized. You can select that here as well. I'll create one, we'll call it topic B. And anything under topic B that we do for the rest of the week will go under that topic. From here, I'm going to go ahead and click Assign, and it's going to automatically push to my classwork tab for my students to see and begin working on it. So just a quick way to get your materials that you're already using in the classroom into a Google assignment for your students to work on at home.